everybody, how's it going? This is Darrin with GuitarControl.com bringing you this video lesson, and today I've got 3 fun and easy riffs for you from Bryan Adams. Right now Guitar Control is giving away this cool free chord chart. There's a link down in the description where you can get yours. It's in PDF format, has every chord you could ever need all neatly compiled into one sheet, so you can print it off, you can throw it where you practice, put it in your gig bag, and any chord you could ever need at a glance, and it's free download. Get yours. So be sure to click on the link in the description for the tabs, and let's get close up and take a look at these. Alright, so the first one we're going to look at is Cuts Like a Knife. So this has 2 guitar parts that are being played simultaneous that really kind of fill the whole thing out. So I'm going to show you how to do both parts, so that way you could record one of them or loop it or have a friend play it or whatever, so you can do both parts. Alright, so we're going to kind of do this a little backwards of how it looks on here, but we're going to do the guitar 2 first. I'm going to show you how to do that part first. So it's pretty simple. It just uses 3 basic chords. We've got D, so D string open, 2nd fret of the G string with my 1st finger, and 3rd fret of the B string with my 3rd finger, and 2nd fret of the high E with my 2nd finger. Then we're going to go to a G. So keep your 3rd finger just planted there, and then you just move your 1st finger to the 2nd fret of the A string, and your 2nd finger to the 3rd fret of the low E string, and your pinky to the 3rd fret of the high E string. And then a C add 9, and to make that we just simply move our 1st and 2nd fingers up a string each. So now on the 2nd fret of the A string with my, the 3rd fret of the A string with my 2nd finger, and the 2nd fret of the D string with my 1st finger. Alright, so those are our 3 chords, and again that 3rd finger can just stay planted right there. So we play this first D on the downbeat of 1, and it's a dotted quarter note. And then, so it rings out for all of beat 1, and then the downbeat of beat 2. And then on the and of 2, we're going to strum the chord again and let it ring out for the remainder of the measure. Okay, so starting on the 2nd measure, we basically do the same thing. We're going to start with G though, and then when we play, instead of playing G twice, we switch to the C add 9 on the and of 2. That's the first 2 measures, and measures 3 and 4 are the same, and then the whole thing repeats. So we got Alright, so while that's happening, guitar 1 is playing this little melody over the top of it. So that's what we're going to look at now. So come up here to the 9th fret with your 1st finger onto the G string, and we're going to be doing this, the D string is just going to be being played open, just pedaled. So we hit 9 and then go to the 11th fret on the G string with our 3rd finger on the and of 1. So 1 and 2, and then on the and of 2, or excuse me, on the downbeat of 2 we rest. And then on the and of 2, we're going to come back here to the 9th fret, and we're going to pick that and slide to the 11th. So now when we slide to that, that is on the and of 2, and then it's tied to a quarter note, so it's the and of 2 plus all of beat 3. And then on beat 4, we just come down, we go 9, and then on the and of 4, 7. So alright, then starting on the 2nd measure, we're going to slide back to the 9, and then down to 4. So that's kind of 7, then down to the 2nd fret, and we hammer on to the 4th fret, and then back to the 2nd fret. So that's on the and, that's 4 and on the second measure, and then it just rings out. It's tied to ring out over beats 3 and, or excuse me, over measures 3 and 4. Alright, so the next one we're going to look at is the riff from Run to You. So for this one here, I'm barring my first finger across the second fret of the E, A, and D string. And then I'm going to take my third finger and use it to pick up the fourth fret of the A string. And this is all eighth notes. So this is C sharp minor over F sharp. So we're going to play just going E, A, D, E, A, D, A, E. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Except I did that wrong. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's our first measure. Now, starting on the second measure, we have an A. So we're just going to keep what we're doing here, but we're going to take our pinky and pick up the 5th fret of the low E string, and we're going to just play E, A, D, and then this next part is the trickiest part out of it. We're going to come up to the 7th fret on the low E and the 6th fret on the A string, and then we're going to pick E, A, and then we're going to take our third finger, pick up the 7th fret of the A string, back to the 6th, and then back to the E string. All right, and then the last one we're going to look at is the riff from the chorus on Summer of '69. Fun fact, this is one of the first like cool songs I ever learned how to play when I was learning how to play the guitar when I was a kid. So we've got this riff that's all based around D suspended 2 and D suspended 4, and A suspended 2 and A suspended 4. So it's pretty easy. If you just put your fingers down for good old D and remove your middle finger so that the high E string is open, that is D suspended 2. And this is all made up of eighth notes for the most part. We're going to play 1 and 2. So just E, B, G. Then we're going to put our middle finger down to make it a D chord and do the same picking. Then we're going to put our pinky down onto the 3rd fret, which makes D suspended 4. 4 and 1, the downbeat on the second measure. Then we take our pinky off, back to D, and 3, and 2, and take our pinky off, and, 3, and put it back on 4. And this is the actually a quarter note. So. Alright, so that's the first two measures, and it's half of the riff. Now we're going to switch to doing basically the same thing around A. Now, so that first melody line, if you look at it, just those notes, we're going to do the same thing on the B string. So we're going to need to do A suspended 2. So, how I do this, my first finger's on the 2nd fret of the D string, and my second finger is on the 2nd fret of the G string, and my third finger's on the 2nd fret of the B string. So that would be A, but we're looking for A suspended 2. So we're going to remove our third finger so that the B string is open, and we're going to do the same picking, but now it's going to be starting on the B string. So it'll be the B, G, and D string. Put our third finger down to make A. Now put our pinky down onto the 3rd fret of the B string to make A suspended 4. take it off, back to A, take your third finger off, put it back on, and that's it. So whole thing. Alright, so there you have it, 3 fun, not too terribly difficult riffs to play by Bryan Adams. So if you like this lesson, be sure to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you have any questions about this or other guitar-related topics. If you've not already done so, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the content that we upload throughout the week. Well, that is all I have for you today. Thanks for watching and have a great day.